One of the first things that I thought about when I heard a few months ago that they were gonna do something with AoE weapons was, what about Archguns though? Because some of the Archguns are pretty spicy when it comes to AoE. Specifically the Kuva Grattler and the Kuva Ayanga. These are really good for just straight up carpet bombing missions. But as far as I can tell, they didn't touch them at all. Maybe it's because they aren't used all that much, which is crazy to me because I use them all the time. Like, I don't think I've ever seen anyone use an Archgun outside of the scenarios where you obviously have to use them, so Archwing when you're piloting a Necramech or when you're doing the Profit Taker fight. I've even had people, both in-game and in my comment section, be like, whoa, how are you, what did you do? How are you using that? That's an Archwing weapon. So I thought I would put together a short video to let people know that yes, this is a thing. You can use Archguns as regular weapons in Atmosphere even with just your Warframe. And they're actually really good. So here's the deal. Once you progress through the Profit Taker stuff in Fortuna, you're obviously gonna need an Archgun to use against the Profit Taker. At this point, you'll be able to build a Gravimag with 10 Jadomag systems, 5 Atmo systems, and 2 Repeller systems. This is then attached to an Archgun, which allows you to assign Archgun Deployer into your gear wheel. If you activate that in a mission, you'll be given that Archgun for your Warframe. If you have this on multiple Archguns, you need to assign the right one into the heavy weapon slot in your arsenal though. And that's it, you now have an Archgun that you can go absolutely ham with. I think one of the reasons why it's not used all that much is because it was very limited in the beginning, because you would get one set of ammo and once you ran out, that was it. You had to wait for a 5-minute cooldown on the Archgun deployer to call it down again. This didn't last very long though, because very soon after the addition of Gravimags, they introduced heavy ammo. This is actually something that I myself suggested in one of my videos. I said, yes, Archguns with the Gravimag are cool and all, but you run out of ammo very fast. Wouldn't it make sense for heavy units to drop heavy ammo so that you can actually replenish it mid-mission instead of waiting for the cooldown every time? And that's exactly what they did. They made it so that heavy units can sometimes drop heavy ammo, though I highly doubt it was my comment that made them add it into the game. It was just a very sensible thing to do. This made most Archguns pretty viable in most missions, as you wouldn't run out of ammo that fast. It was actually really fun. But then something even better happened. Protea. More specifically, her dispensary. Because you see, the ammo drop you get from dispensary counts as all ammo types, so we can actually replenish heavy ammo as well. It's also subsumable, so you can put it on any Warframe you want. This was really huge because it meant you could effectively get infinite ammo for Archguns and made them viable for endless missions as well. It's not all nice and rosy though. Archguns are still somewhat limited in their performance, which is partially due to the mods. They don't have access to too many mods. They have the basic stuff, you know, damage, multi-shot, fire rate, some crit, not too much, but there is some crit in there, and a few years ago we also got dual stat mods, so you can build them for status or hybrid as well now. So it's okay, but it's definitely not as expansive as on like primaries or something. It's not too bad though, because some Archguns, like for example the Mausolon, can even go into low-level steel path. It's definitely not amazing. It's not like if you take, I don't know, a heavy attack glaive in there or something like that, but it works well enough. It's a bit of a different experience. It feels somewhat slower and you don't have as much hang time when you're in the air. If you start gliding with an Archgun, you're gonna plummet to the ground pretty fast. But surprisingly enough, even with the enemies being significantly beefier in Steel Path, you can still actually sustain your ammo if you run Dispensary. So if you're a fan of like big, heavy, chunky weapons, this is definitely something you should look into, specifically the Kuva Grattler, the Kuva Ayanga, and the Mausolon. Those three are definitely my favorites when it comes to atmosphere usage with a Gravimag. Definitely don't discount the other ones though, because the Flactus is pretty fun as well, and I've even used things like the Velocitus to one-shot bosses just for shits and giggles. And it's always good to have the guns ready for Profit Taker because, you know, it's a pretty profitable boss to do. You can get a lot of credits and a ton of resources from it. So even if you're not interested in heavy guns, I would still recommend you get at least a few of them just so, you know, you have something to play around with. But anyway, that's pretty much it for the video, so I thank you very much for watching. As always, guys, I would love it if you could let me know in the comment section down below if you actually use Archguns in Atmosphere with a Gravimag, like at all, because as I've said earlier, I never see people using these. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.